So at this point we have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these panels. I've glued the 2 strips over here and the 1 strip over here, and the 1 strip is underneath the drawn line, and they're all consistent. If one of them is glued above the line, it's going to be funky, and I'll show you an example later on of what happens, a cautionary tale. Then you have one that has nothing, but it does have the lines on one side. All right. So the very first thing that we're going to do is I'm going to take the first one, I'm going to turn it over, and so my 2 ribbons are on one side and my 1 ribbon is on the other side. Then I'm going to flip these ribbons over like this. So I'm doing something called the crisscross. That's what I'm going to call it. All right, then I'm going to take the next one, I'm going to flip that over, and once again, my 2 ribbons are on the left-hand side and my 1 ribbon is on the other side. You could have the 2 ribbons on the other side, but they always have to be on the other side, so you have to be consistent. I'm going to lay that on top, so always when you're laying on the next one, it's always facing down, okay, ribbons facing down. So then there's this. Now this is a little tricky, you might want to come a little closer. Okay. So now what we're going to do, you want to make sure that you're not doing the ribbons that you just added, right? So that's these 2 and then the one in the center. I'm going to pull the one that's in the center right here. That's the one that has done the crossover. And I'm going to pull this one over here, okay, and pull this one over here, just like that. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut so that they are just a little bit shorter, because when I glue them down, I want them to go halfway on the board. Okay. And you want to make sure that it's aligned from top to bottom and left to right, and that's very, very important. And remember, pulling it is also important so that you're lined up. Okay. All right, then the next step is to use your PVA, and we're going to put, don't need that much glue, we're going to put a little glue here, and I'm pulling it tight, and that's really important. And again, don't scooch your boards around, you really want to make sure that they stay put, and I need to put more glue here. So I'm pulling it with some force in that direction. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. And pull this over just like that. And again, pull it over. And the next one down here. This is a slow process, so usually when I'm constructing a book I have a movie on, and again you just want to make sure everything's aligned and make sure that everything is pulled. Alright, then what you would do next, you have to let this dry, but what you would do next is you would bring these over, right, and you would bring this one over, and you would then take your next one, flip it over, and put that one down and do the same thing. You're doing the same thing again and again and again until the very last stage when you put the final one on. See, the stripes are on, the lines are on the top. You put the final one on, and these would be crossed over, and you would glue those down so it would look like this on the last one. Okay? And that's it for now.